Guys, I think a lot of you want to build a software as a service and have no technical knowledge. And the typical things that you think if you don't have technical knowledge is that you need to know how to develop an app or how to program, all that technical stuff. But the truth is that that is one of the last steps. Knowing how to develop an app is necessary, but it's not the core thing. There are a couple of steps that will save you ton of time, and it's more important than knowing a specific programming language. So in this video I want to explain you how you can start creating an app without having any technical knowledge. You don't need to know how to develop an app. I think that things have changed, and maybe in the past you needed to know how to develop an app, but nowadays things are a bit different. If it's the first time that you're watching me, my name is Justo. I'm in a process of creating 12 apps in 1 year. I recently launched the 6th app, and I've created a process that lets me design, develop, and test applications in a couple of weeks, so I can stop wasting months and time building apps that lead you nowhere. Look, if you're non-technical and you're thinking about building a software as a service, you're probably stuck in this loop. You have an idea, but you don't know if it's if it's worth building. You don't know if it's good. You feel like something is missing before you start. Every video points you to a different tool, or you need to know how to program an application. You think the real problem is technical, what I was mentioning you are afraid of wasting months going in the wrong direction. But the truth is that the biggest risk isn't moving slowly, it's moving confidently in the wrong direction, okay? And that happened to me when I was starting out. I spent like 8 or 9 months building an app with the completely wrong understanding on how to build an app. So most people start the same way, and that's why they end the same way. They start with an idea, two comparisons: no code versus AI versus hiring a developer, tutorials, imaginary roadmaps. And it's very common from people that have technical knowledge that they overcomplicate this. They try to select the perfect stack to build an app. And being 100% honest, I don't care. I don't care about the technical stack, because the technical stack won't make you build an app aligned with your audience and aligned with the users inside the app. So what happens is that they end with months of building, little exposure, no real feedback, frustration, thinking maybe the idea wasn't good, but the truth is that the code didn't fail. The order did, okay? The system they've used to build the app. Now, before continuing with this, I want to remind you that if you want me to help you one-on-one building an app, taking your idea into a working product, you can book a one-on-one call. I will leave you the link on the comments section. So if you're a non-technical founder, there are things you should stop doing right now, like stop comparing tools, stop learning to code just in case, stop designing screens without context, stop assuming the idea is already worth building, stop using technology to avoid conversations, okay? The other day, I was talking with a founder that made 10K without writing a single line of code. And the way he did that is by talking to almost 300 users before building the app. He had a lot of meetings, and people were putting money for the app before the launch. Because technology doesn't give you direction. It only accelerates decisions you already made. If the decision is wrong, you will get there faster. The correct starting point is simpler and less glamorous. You don't start with what could you build. What you could build. You start with what you already do. Look at problems you already solve for people, tasks you repeat over and over, decisions you explain the same way every time, friction you already understand deeply. If you don't solve a real problem today, think it twice, okay? Solve the problem first and then you build the app. The first real step is not building anything, is doing it manually. And if you don't believe me, go and research how YouTube, Instagram, and all these apps, even Netflix, how they started. They started with manual loops, and then they created the product once they saw an opportunity. So without optimization, without automation, when you do that, important things happen. You feel real friction, you see which steps don't matter, you discover what no one actually values, you identify the decision that keeps repeating, because if something doesn't hurt when done manually, it's not worth scaling, because it will just amplify the problem. You keep doing that. So before writing code, you need real movement, not opinions, not compliments, real signals. People leaving their email, asking to be notified, sending long messages, asking uncomfortable questions, following up. And the way to do that, the way you can do that is by creating a simple landing page. And you don't need to be a developer to create a landing page. There are 1,000 tools that you can use for that. So silence is also feedback, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that. Building without these signals is building blind. Before thinking about users, ask, does this save me time this week? Does it remove a decision from my head? Does it simplify real work? It doesn't need to be pretty. It needs to be useful. If you wouldn't use it, it's not an MVP. Think about the usage. A lot of people build products, but then they don't use their own products. Okay, I use every single product I build, unless I'm building it for a client. But almost every single product that I build is based on my own needs, on the things that I need to solve. At this point, one thing becomes very clear. Okay, real software as a service products don't automate tasks. They automate repeated decisions. Okay, you can build the product with AI, but you're the one taking the decisions. People pay for less doubt, less mental load, more clarity, and faster decisions, not for more buttons. A simple test that you can use for this is using this pattern, okay? This product helps people decide X, Y, and Z faster. If you can complete that sentence, it would be very difficult to create a product. Now, at this point, the product and marketing start aligning, okay? Product and marketing are not two different phases. They are the same system viewed from different angles. That's a mistake we make of viewing the marketing and the product on different paths. But they are the same thing, okay? Marketing pushes the product, because marketing doesn't come after the product. Marketing is how you test if the problem is clear, if the message resonates, if the pain is strong enough, if people move without being pushed. If the problem is real, the message doesn't need tricks. People respond. If they don't, it's not a copy problem. It's a relevance problem. Maybe the problem is not deep enough, okay? Maybe it doesn't hurt enough. Or you can even be selecting the wrong audience. Okay, maybe the problem exists, but you are selecting the wrong audience or that problem. Now, something very important that you need to take into account is that the first product version is not too complete. The goal is not to make it scalable or polished. It's a mechanism to enable one decision, show one outcome, and generate feedback, okay? The only way to create a successful product, or the only way to create a product aligned with your audience and with the users of your app, is to build, measure, learn, and iterate, okay? The system of the lean startup, where every question, okay, or every feature must answer a question. What will I learn if this exists? If there is no answer, don't build it, okay? Because if you don't learn anything with that specific tool or with that specific feature, it doesn't make sense to build it. Now, the thing is that at the same time, growth doesn't wait. The product should explain itself. You need to make sure the output is variable, the value is visible, and the result needs no explanation. When usage exposes value, growth is natural, not forced, not artificial. But before doing that, you need to simplify it. You need to use the product, break it, remove things, and say no constantly. Say no to new features. There is something here that the growth book mentions here, and is that a lot of people are constantly building features, are constantly building new things for their apps, and at the end of the day, they end with a very big product and they don't know how to market it. So most of the time, you will need to put features, not add features to the app. Adding features is the easiest thing in the world, but understanding your customers, understanding your audience, or the users of your app is the most important thing. Because products that grow don't necessarily do more. they do one thing extremely well. And this is also related to the 22 laws of marketing. A lot of companies are very good at doing one specific thing, and then when they try to scale, they add new products to their line of products, and then they start going down. I mean, they break the company. Now, leaving that aside, only now does technology matter. Only now does it make sense to think about no code, AI, hiring a developer, scalability. Before this point, technology is noise. Now, if we take a look at all the things that I explained to you, you start with a real specific problem, then manual work, clear message, real interest signals, minimal product to learn, okay? Could be something like an MVP, real usage, ruthless simplification, distribution built into the product. Okay, you can search the story of Calendly, is a very good example. And then, and only then, technical scale. Remember that most people don't fail because they can not build. They fail because they build the wrong thing for too long. The reason I can tell you this is because I already went through this. So if you're non-technical, your advantage isn't learning to code first. It's refusing to hide. Talk earlier, show earlier, listen earlier, and technology comes later. Now, if you want me to help you with this, you can send me a message on Instagram and you can tell me your background, what you do today, what part of your work repeats constantly, and I will help you clarify what to ignore, what not to build yet, and where to start without wasting months. Or if you want to book a one-on-one call, I will leave the links on the comment section. Now, I really hope this video helped you, and if this helped you, you can subscribe, you can hit the like button, because in that way we can keep reaching new people and YouTube keeps pushing the content. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.